Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at the Engineer Salvage build. Essentially what this build is going to focus around is the later part of salvage missions and just trying to control a defense point and what the best options are in the Engineer class to deal with this. So the most important piece to this puzzle isn't actually in the weapons, it's actually in the platform gun. What you're really going to want is the repellent additive, which essentially will help you funnel bugs into certain areas, which will combo nicely with other things in the engineer's kit. For example, you can funnel bugs into an area and throw down the proximity mines, so that instead of having all the bugs coming at once and some of them going over the mines while others going around, you can sort of force them into this area. So the weapons I like running with this build are the Warthog and the Deep Core. I like the Warthog with these attachments on the middle, and I prefer the Cycle Overload Overclock. It just does more damage, shoots faster. I think it is the best overclock for this weapon. Of course, you can make this work without this. Some of these other options in here, like the clean overclocks are always good to go by. I don't like the magnetic pellets, but you can just mix and match, really. This is just what I prefer. Another sort of very useful overclock for this build would be the Fat Boy on the Deep Core, because for those of you who don't know, this creates a massive explosion with a whole lot of radiation left over, which is really good for choke points, provided that you don't accidentally shoot it in the middle of the defense point and kill all your team.
What the hell? How did... Wait.
Yeah, just be careful with this one. It is very powerful, but it also can lead to some really bad moments if used improperly. If you don't have faith in your sort of ability to place these in, we'll say, responsible locations, another excellent choice would be the Spinning Death mod for the Breach Cutter, just because you can shoot it down in those choke points and it will sort of force all of the bugs into the area. This is basically just focusing on area denial. So with this build, you really are going to have to be relying on your turret for range, since the Warthog is kind of close and you don't want to be using your grenade launcher to be taking out small enemies from afar. So it does have some weaknesses, but it is very powerful in the right scenario. So we're going to jump down onto the planet and see what we can do. Okay, so we just landed. We're going to try and find as much nitro as we can as fast as possible, because this build is not the most ammo efficient. It mostly just focuses on doing the most damage in the quickest amount of time. So as long as you have the nitro supply to support that, you should be fine. I have had several occasions where I've run out of ammo and been a little screwed just because I could not find nitro fast enough. So we're going to try and build these mules and get to the next area as fast as possible. We're gonna set up our little turret here. So this build doesn't really excel too well with these sort of intermediate areas where you're just supposed to be going around repairing the mules. It's more built around the idea of locking down in place. Of course, Engineer in general, just because he has a turret, can sort of defend any area pretty reliably. So, alright, we're gonna back up a little here. But we're mostly just focusing on the end game for these types of missions on this build. And once again, I forgot to adjust my perks to really benefit me in any substantial way. Because I currently have the Fast Revive and the Shield perk, which are entirely useless in solo play. So we are going to see if we can survive without any really active perks helping us. We'll see how this goes. Oh boy, there's a fair bit of enemies. Alright, I'm gonna try and distance myself and see if I can use... There we go. Yeah, so, for those of you who don't know, ow, okay, well, the fat boy does a whole lot of damage and leaves a lot of radiation behind. Ow! I guess it was kind of good that the sand shark took us into the radiation. Oh boy, I hear more enemies. That's not good. Because we were able to get out of that sand shark a little bit faster. Oh, that's a bulk detonator already. Alright, I'm gonna throw this down, just so that it takes a whole lot of radiation damage. I'm pretty sure bulk detonators have a fair bit of explosion resistance. So like, I'm really just throwing this down so that it takes a fat bit of radiation damage. Alright. Alright, Bosco should be helping us out. So shotgun obviously does better up close, but you really don't want to be up close on bulk detonators. Okay, so you see how I tie this back to the ammo. I'm not even gonna try and open or try to build that next mini mule until I get enough nitro for a resupply, because I believe that spawns more enemies, and that is something that I don't really want to afford right now since I just have over 1 mag left in spare for my shotgun, and okay, so we're gonna have Bosco dig that out for now, but I forget how quickly this difficulty just spits out enemies at you. Alright, that doesn't sound good. So we're going to come back. Ah, great, I think I hear a breeder. That is not good for us. Oh boy, yeah, there's a lot of enemies here. This is not ideal. Alright. Gonna have my turret try and do most of the heavy lifting right now. Alright. I really just need a bunch of nitro. Okay, so I hear Menace. That's not great. We're getting... Alright, nitro. Good. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a breeder. Okay, we need to do this quick. Please be enough nitro. We need like 20. This is not gonna cut it. We need 5 more nitro somewhere. We see Lupo. Oh. Right. Okay. I need to deposit this and get a resupply down as soon as possible. It actually is good that our ship is so close. I'm gonna... Alright, where's the uplink? I'm gonna try and call this thing down near it. There it is. Okay. Right next to the Root Nexus. Okay. Alright, so we were able to kite these guys for a good bit of time. Alright, we really need to... There's our turret. Okay, we're going to pull this up. Oh boy. Ow. Okay. We're just going to have to ignore these guys while they're shooting at us for some time. Like I said, this build is not really built around the beginning stages, it's more for the end. Okay, we have a resupply now. We're going to try and get rid of all these. If you have teammates, they typically can help you with these sort of beginning stages, but you will, at least in theory, be doing more of the heavy lifting towards the end. So it's kind of the trade-off where it's a weak start, but you really do grow into the role with these types of missions. Okay, we need to get rid of this breeder as soon as possible. Keeps on spawning all these enemies for us. Alright, I'm just gonna get rid of that. I want to sort of deal with all the enemies in this area, and then I will go and head for the I'll head for the resupply in a sec. Ooh, Crassus detonator. Unfortunately, that's going to mean I'm going to have to eat up a whole bunch of my ammo reserves so that I can take it down. Oh boy. Alright. Yeah, like I said, this build does not do well with range. Alright. 2 menaces. We're going to send another one of these down. Oof. Alright, I probably need to... Oh, another thing, I guess I should just be throwing these grenades sort of around, especially if I'm going to be resupplying, because otherwise it's just wasted DPS. But one thing you do have to keep in mind with these sort of grenades, especially when you have teammates around, is they do tend to do a lot of team damage if they're placed in areas not of high traffic, not only of bugs, but of just people. So just try and be mindful of that. I kind of just threw them down willy-nilly. Alright, I really want to deal with this menace. Alright, I'm going to pick up. God, the enemies just won't stop. Oh boy. I'm gonna try and lead some of these into the grenades. There's menace. Oh boy, and there's a spitballer that I did not mean to piss off. Oh boy. Let me up. Oh my goodness, there's just enemy after enemy. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to look for some more nitro. Alright. Take this opportunity. Finally menaces down. Alright, we're gonna have to go deal with that spitballer. Praetorian here. Hello. Ow. Can you please spit? There we go. Oh yeah, spitball. So a whole lot of enemies, not enough time. I'm just going to let that do its work. I don't have many options at the moment. Yeah. We're already going through way more ammo than I was hoping we'd have to. Ow! Oh boy. That spitballer is causing us more issues than we can afford. I'm not even gonna bother trying to lead the Crassus into a tunnel so that I can get more gold.
Getting more ammo. Sticking it to the box, grabbing ammo.
Why do you have to have so much health, bro? Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay, no. I thought this was a dead end. Alright. Alright. Run as far as possible. Ooh. You know, I'm curious. I've never had Bosco just sort of go to town on one of these. I wonder if he'll dig this all up eventually. Or maybe he just takes short breaks in between. We'll let him do his thing. We need to head back and, actually, before I do anything productive, we should get nitro. Or anything to advance the main objective, I should say. Nitro's always productive. Can never have too much in these types of missions.
I'm totally loaded.
Alright. Yeah, I heard And they spawn, okay. So, we're still hanging on, you know. We've been tearing through ammo, but who doesn't on this mode? I should probably just have Molly. Okay, we have enough for another resupply. That's always good to have that threshold. I'd like to be able to call in at least one more resupply, or have enough nitro to do that. Before, yeah, I'm just, oh, I said I wouldn't mind all this. I'll get to it later. But no sense having Molly do nothing. Alright, let's go deal with that Spitballer, and then we should backtrack to... So for those of you who don't know, you can shoot these Spitballs on Spitballers. Oh, what is... I put this down so that the turret could deal with the Spitballer, not necessarily a Praetorian, but whatever. Magnite, yeah, the Warthog in general is not really the most ammo efficient. If anything, this build kind of helps with that because you do more damage per shot. So for dealing with like Praetorians and oppressors and whatnot, it's better because you have to use less bullets to deal that sort of damage. You don't really want to be using your deep core with this mod to just do general Praetorian damage. Like, you really want to save it for crowds or like enemies with a lot of health, and while Praetorians do have a good bit, they're just too common to really be wasting your very precious shots, because you only get like 5 or 6 if you kit it out for ammo. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to go and swing by a resupply before tackling that next, whatever it's called. Okay. I know I just had this conversation about not using the deep core to deal with the Praetorians, but I only have 6 bullets in this right now, and I want to be getting my money's worth out of the next resupply. But in general, I think it is a good rule of thumb to not just shoot it at Praetorians. But in that specific scenario, I mean, you can always justify certain actions, given the right scenario. So,
Don't get too attached now.
okay. So, I wasn't quite sure on that, but I guess that's confirmed. So, you saw right there, I guess these grenades do have a timer on them. So, even if they don't have all their charges used, they will just sort of detonate eventually. Yeah, look how much work Molly did. Okay, so I'm gonna just have Molly work on that while I backtrack. But I never really have found a crisis detonator in solo, so I didn't know how much work Molly, or not Molly, Bosco could do with that sort of. I always have Bosco kitted out to like dig faster, just because it saves a lot of time on missions. Okay, which direction am I going? I need to go back to spawn, which is directly behind me. Cool. Oh, that's right. I feel like I remember falling a good bit to get down here. Let's see. It's probably up. Oh, I can just cut through the ceiling, or cut through the right here. Okay, I think the bugs have sort of backed off. I'm not really going to expect any more bugs until I start building the, whatever it's called, the mule, mini mule. Oh yeah, that's right, I had Bosco dig this up ages ago. Okay. I said I wasn't expecting more bugs, so I guess I'll consider me surprised. Alright, we should have just enough ammo to deal with whatever bugs are thrown at us over here. Do that. Do that. Yeah, so even though the mini mule was at the very beginning, notice how we had to really sort of advance to find more ammo, just to deal with kind of the onslaught of bugs that appeared. Typically, you know, you just stumble into the mini mules and repair them as you see fit, but you have to be really tactical with this difficulty in general, but with this build in particular. So I don't think there's any bugs this round. Oh. Lucky me, I guess. I do see there's a fossil up there, but the amount of platforms I need to set it up wouldn't justify it. Maybe there's some more low-hanging fruit somewhere else, but ooh, that was probably stupid, especially if I wanted to grab all that gold that the Crassus left behind, because I no longer have access to the mule. I'm just gonna have to go and run the golds to and from. Okay, I want to find just a pinch more nitra before doing anything. Yeah, look at all that piles of gold over there. That is really pretty to look at, especially in the dark. Okay, how much work do I gotta do here? Yeah, typically I just have Molly sit in the middle and then collect and pour all this stuff, but that made my life a little more difficult, but at least we don't have too many bugs for our booty. Uh-oh. Speak of the devil. And grenade sort of got my back. Alright. Oh, another good sort of habit for engineers is if there's a ammo crate or ammo resupply that's out of uses, to bury it, to get it sort of out of the team's way is typically best. And to cover with the platform is just, you know, make sure none of your buddies fall into it. We're not going to start building this quite yet. I'm going to call it another resupply. Yeah, if I could just find like 3 more nitra, then I'd consider myself set. In the meantime, I want Molly to be digging up as much of that gold as possible so that I don't have to deal with it. Uh-oh. What's that sound? Sounds like a sand shark? Maybe? Okay, I don't think... Yeah, there's no way there's gonna be 3 nitra crammed in there. Alright, sounds like my grenades are doing some work. You can see that little like red indicator. There's also the slight audio cues, so I know some bugs are heading my way at least. Yeah, there is a Praetorian. Hello! Uh-oh. Can't see. Yeah. Alright, so a lone Praetorian, probably not worth the use, but lone Praetorian, or a Praetorian with a whole bunch of other enemies, definitely save you some ammo. Ow. Pressure's ticking me off here. Ouch, 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 ouch. Uh-oh. And there's a menace? That's not good. Alright. Ow, ow, ow. Let's see. I feel like, yeah, I definitely hear a sand shark, and I always have a habit of ignoring them until they're a problem, which always bites me in the ass, but, oh, ow, if I had better reflex, I could have saved myself a lot of fall damage there, but, alright, oh boy, great. Come on, this way, wasting time. Cool. Alright, Molly, or not Molly, Bosco. back to work. Probably don't need to recall my sentry there, not much of a point.
Make another faucet.
Really, like, even if I just find a loot bug, like, I'll have enough nitro to get a resupply. This cave seems to be absent of loot bugs, which is unfortunate. Oh, there we go. That should be enough. I'm just going to take a brief look at what's up here, see what I'm up against. Cool. Selection out. Very useful. Yep, there's a sand shark. Okay. Guess Bosco is done with his gold mining, at least temporarily. So I'll have him go track down that sand shark. Yeah, I'm gonna try and deal with this. Oh look, loot bug. Cool.
I'll beat your record this time. Just watch.
Alright. Now I think I can just sit here and run gold back and forth. Oh boy, that is definitely a use of this thing. Another sand shark. Oh boy, a lot of bugs here. Ouch. Oh dear. Okay, I think I got the sand shark. Alright, that wasn't horrible. Could probably do with the resupply, however. Alright, I think we're at the stage where I can start showing you where this build excels. Okay, so this isn't the best place to showcase what this build can do, but I can certainly give it a shot. So the bugs will try to avoid standing on these platforms, and they're trying to get to the center. So like, if I leave certain avenues open, the bugs will hopefully filter through them. So if we throw these grenades down here, and the one thing that is important to consider with this build is that if you are too excessive with the platforms, then the bugs will just ignore them. So you want to leave these gaps here and there, just so that you can maneuver around. Another thing that's important to consider, especially with this type of, how should we say, where this is positioned, is I'm going to need to use some platforms so that I can utilize this extra area to run around in. Bosco has no reason to just be sitting here doing nothing. And because we have the repellent as our upgrade with this build, we don't get the extra ammo supply for the platform, so we just have less platforms at our disposal. But luckily we have found a decent supply of nitro, so I'm not super worried about that. Yeah, so I'm going to throw one of these down here. So if you are in like a full team, typically you will only be getting one of the resupplies or you'll get one use of the resupply, so that will restore 2 grenades to you. We're just gonna shoot that down because I don't want them tripping off my grenades too early. Because they're supposed to, yeah. Timing this, because there's all this gold down here, this is just making me waste a lot of ammo because bugs are spawning, and I'm having to constantly defend myself. So, in an ideal world, I would just ignore all this gold, but, I mean, what can you say? Look at that view. I can't just ignore this. Yeah, if I was smart, I would have left Molly in the middle. So I think I'm just going to be running gold back and forth. Not a whole lot of combat, so I will cut to the next relevant moment. Okay, well I'm almost done running for gold, but a bunch of enemies have spawned. gonna hope that our rocket launcher deals most of that. Cool. Looks like really helped thin down the crowd. Alright, I'm not sure how many grenades I have left lying around. I really don't want them to despawn. Okay, I think that, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I think we emptied it of all the gold, so anyway. Almost 800 gold in a Has 5 mission. That's gonna be a pretty hefty bonus. Alright, so here we go. I think I'm going to throw, actually, I don't know. I have a couple more grenades at my disposal. Uh-oh. I don't like those sounds. Oh, great. Looks like I just ran the timer off, so it was really pointless for me to throw this down. But I guess it's good that it happened now and not in the middle, where I'd have to waste a whole lot of time just lining those up. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so hopefully the bugs will be sort of channeled into these certain choke points so that I have less to worry about. We're going to try and deal with that. Yeah, I think I'm going to throw one down there. I was kind of hoping bugs would lean more towards the right, but at least we have the supplies to sort of adjust to that sort of treatment. Okay, yeah, I should have placed these grenades a little bit further away from me, because you see they're doing quite a bit of damage. That's another thing that you have to just get comfortable with, is the radius of these grenades. And if you can't do that, then you should probably be using the lure to give you a little bit more, a little bit more survivability, I suppose. Okay. I'm trying to look out for like big crowds of enemies so that I can use my grenade launcher and I don't have to deal with them. Alright. Oh boy. Oh, not big enough. Okay. I think my turret's out. Alright, but we no longer have to defend, which is nice. Okay. I'm gonna have Bosco go and try and deal with that. Alright, gonna try and distance myself, fire that down. Don't thin it out. Oh boy. Hello, Praetorian. Yeah, I'm just gonna have Bosco sort of do most of the far range stuff. I hope the Menace spawns in reach. Yeah, I'm super low on ammo. Yeah, completely out of grenades. 3 shotgun shells left. Definitely need a resupply. Oh, come on. Oh boy. Oh dear. Alright, one thing that's good about this overclock is it really helps deal with those massive crowds. Look at that. Okay. Got him. Fossils. Okay, where did the fuel cells land? Oh, right here. Guess that's nice. I don't really like this location, as far as defendable points. I'm gonna call ammo in over here. I'm going to try not make the same mistake I did last time and have a turret that was mostly useless. Well, out of reach, at least. Actually, this does look out of reach, so probably here. Speaking of, this ammo's probably out of reach as well. Screw it. Alright, and we're gonna throw this down. Hopefully we survive this. So, got a good bit of ammo. fairly well defended. Decent bit of grenades. I'm probably gonna grab another ammo crate just so I can have some more grenades in my inventory to throw down when the other ones sort of fail, inevitably. Alright, so we're gonna get that up. This is full ammo. It's preemptive. We have a fair bit of ammo at our disposal. I'm not super worried about running out at this point. We're not gonna get the fossils. I don't really want to overstay my welcome. Okay, the grenades are going in, sort of giving me much less to worry about.
Fuel cells at 50%.
Okay. So far, so good. Tauren coming in. Gonna try and deal with him. Actually, there's 2 Praetonians over there. I don't want to worry about it. Okay, so this radiation is kind of cutting into the area I get to move around, but it's also, for the most part, denying, or at least. Okay, I'm gonna throw a grenade down there so that I don't know. Yeah, there's a whole lot there. It is good at restricting how many bugs can come in, and greatly weakens the ones that can. So just try not to land it right in the middle. You want to keep it as far away from the objective as possible. Okay, so grenades are doing most of the work here, which is good because there's a lot. Alright, throw that one down. That one was probably too close to the center. I need to, need to stay away from it. That is way too close, yeah. An ideal spot would be just outside of the objective so that it doesn't affect you or your friends running around, but we're doing alright. Died. How's our ammo looking? Pretty decent. I think I'm just gonna throw this down because I feel like a lot are coming my way. Good way to just sort of kite them is to run and lay one down, deal with a lot of them, because they'll have to follow, really, other than the ranged ones. Alright, I think my turret's about out of ammo. I'm gonna make my way back. If I can, I'd like to grab one more ammo supply, just if it's safe. Ooh, yeah, I should probably. Ooh, should I risk trying to secure that Enor Pearl? I'm not sure. I have plenty of supplies, it'd really just be for bragging rights. Oh god, if I die doing this. Oh boy, yep, probably gonna die. Oh dear. Yep, yeah, I'm gonna have to just run around a little bit. There's an oppressor, I'm pretty sure there's a web spitter that I heard. Yeah. You know, it sounded stupid in my head, and it was stupid, so like, I should really listen to my thoughts, or my conscience every once in a while. Okay, oh boy, both dead. Okay, well, all I need to do is get inside. Ooh. Yeah, I just, you know, that inner pearl is tempting, but I think I'll save that for another day. But thanks for watching, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the build. Probably going to be pumping out a few more of these over the next couple days, so look out for those. But yeah, I really just enjoyed that. It was a little stressful, but Hazard 5 always is. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I will see you later.